Okay guys, so had the bike now for about 3 weeks. Had a horrible running issue. When I first bought the bike, it would only rev up to, I don't know, 8K if I was lucky, 75. Thought it was a carburetor issue. Tore the carbs down repeatedly, probably about 7 times I tore these bitches apart. Got a new petcock, diaphragm, whole rebuild kit for it. Got new plugs. Got my buddy to weld this bar on. It used to have a smaller bar on it, but it ended up just breaking off because the last guy didn't know how to weld at all. Did that, and we rebuilt the top engine a little bit. Basically, it was pissing oil out of every friggin' orifice in it. So, as you see, we got the goop on there, got the goop down there. The bottom gasket was on wrong when we pulled it off, so someone that was in here didn't know what they were doing, so we flipped it around, which tore the gasket up, which, well, now we're relying on the gasket maker crap. Isn't the most reliable, but it's $100 for a set of gaskets for this thing, and I really don't want to spend that kind of money yet because it's got to pay me back first. I wasn't going to tell you guys this. I only spent $500 on the bike. Alright. So anyways, we redid the top end, whole 9 yards, got her back together, fired her up, and suddenly she would only rev to like 4,500, and then she was sputtering and bogging and doing all this crazy shit. With that said, I did cut off the crossover that goes from one pipe to another because I want actual dual exhaust. So anyways, when it wouldn't rev, I figured it was probably a carb issue. Messed with the carbs another 5-10 times, try to clean them out, make sure there wasn't nothing stuck in it. Finally, I got to the point where I said the carbs are fine. Checked some of the wiring. Wiring looked good. Checked the 2 ignition coils that are under the tank inside the frame, which were a pain in the ass. Opened the side cover and notice that this thing doesn't have points. It has some sort of sensors that tell this stupid TCI box to fire. But anyways, checked them, found a wire that was touching one of the bolts inside. It actually rubbed through. So, got that all fixed, fired her up, and I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna work. And 4,500. Would not pass out, would bog, pop, whole 9 yards, sort of a pain in the ass to start. So, from there, I tested the ohm reading on that, found out it was fine. So, checked out my TCI box and did an ohm reading on the resistors, which were definite pain in the ass. Never want to do it again. Found out the box was bad. Went down to Woodstock. They have a salvage yard out there. Got this box off the guy for $125 total. It's the exact same box, TID 12-7. Picked that up. The bike seemed to have run great. When I got the bike, the battery in it was shit. I added some regular tap water, which is a no-no, but it made it so I could use the battery temporarily till I could buy this new one. So I tossed a new battery in here, new bolts, cleaned the connections, positive and negative. And, well, now we're at tuning time. So, when I fired it up last time after I got the new computer, it was running really screwed up. It was idling beautifully. Then randomly it revved up to like 5,000 RPMs and sat there for 30 seconds. Then idled back down to, 1,200-ish RPMs, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Well, what I forgot to do, because I was in such a rush, is this petcock is a vacuum line. It's a vacuum petcock, so if the hose somehow falls off or breaks off, your fuel doesn't piss everywhere. There's only an on, prime, and reserve on this. So anyways, I have a feeling that that was the problem. So I got that one all buttoned up to the tank. Then on this side, I'm hoping this cap is tight enough. It's pretty good. Vacuum locked that one so it doesn't suck air into the engine. Now we're pretty well ready to fire her up and see how she acts. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop the camera for a minute, grab a screwdriver so I can adjust the idle control, because I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit high, because that other one was off last time. And we're going to let her idle for a few minutes, check spark plugs, see what they look like, see if they're black, whatnot. But anyways, I'm back. Alright, so I'm back. Gonna fire up the bike, got a little part of a screwdriver to adjust the idle. And it's time to fire it up. So, I'm going to try and set you down on some tires here temporarily. That's not too bad. Okay, let's fire this thing up, see if the new battery works. We'll give her some choke. Turn choke off. We'll try some choke again. Currently idling at like 4 outboard RPM. I guess let's put her on the prime and make sure she's actually getting fuel. blowing warm air. The brake light's stuck on because the handle switch is all screwed up. She's idling what looks to be at about 1350, 1400 RPM. As she warms up, she's probably going to come up a notch. She's sounding pretty good. We'll give that idle an adjustment down if it doesn't drop here. Yeah, it can go down just a hair by the look of it. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I say we toss you onto the bike here. Oh, it's coming up a bit more, so we'll go down a hair more with her. Make sure this cap's holding. That feels pretty good. Make sure we're connected. Feels pretty good. Choke's fully released. If I add choke, the motor drops, so that's good. It's still a little high. That's not too bad. Let's get you on the handlebars here and take you for a quick little boot. Alright. Always want to be safe. seem to be pretty good. Oh, holy. Got up to about 60k. Don't know. I doubt you guys can see the speedo, but got up to about 60k. I think I might have been third, maybe even fourth at some time. I was gonna rev her out, but because of the neighborhood I'm in, I mean, there's always a chance of a kid jumping out in front of you. I really wanted to rev her right out, but honestly, I think that I can probably still tweak the carb just slightly. It felt like I had a little miss in it when I was at about 4,000 RPMs. Just a hair of a miss, a little stutter for a sec. So I'm thinking maybe it's not quite rich enough on the low end, but I'll have to wait till plug's cool and then give her all a quick check over, see how black the plugs are, if they're white, black, brown. If they're brown, they're perfect. If they're white, well, it means it's running a little bit lean. But anyways, guys, I'll talk to you in a bit. Have a good one.